So let's have a look at David's book. I received it a couple of weeks ago, and I thought it was time to really show you people what an incredible, talented artist he is. I had the privilege to meet him in Amsterdam last year, and he's a great guy and obviously a fantastic artist. He's very much an accomplished sketcher, urban sketcher, does lots of workshops, and let's see what he has to say in his book. So, the book about his sketching work is about techniques, materials, and it's a very complete book in the sense that he shows not only his incredible work, which really makes me want to start sketching. He's obviously a very different sketcher than I am, but that's what I love about the sketching community in general is that it's so diverse. But his work is like totally incredible. So here we see a couple of his examples. One of my favorite ones with lots of electricity, wires and cables. The poles that I love to see. This one is from Colombia in the United States, but this could easily be in Japan or some other country where wires are on top and not like in most of the cities in the Netherlands, everything is underground. So he has a chapter on supplies. Always a question that I also get is what do you use? So he has a very elaborate chapter on what kind of pens there are and which ones he uses and which ones he doesn't use or uses less, with advantages, disadvantages of each one. Inks, which are of course a very important thing if you are like especially a black and white sketcher, which he mainly is. And of course brushes, paper, like I said, materials, very important things. And things if you are out and about, what do you take with you, what would be handy to have. So then he dives into techniques. He obviously has a very distinctive technique with cross hatching and interesting line work. He has a chapter on how to hold a pen, on techniques that you can use there, and practice examples of how you can practice certain styles, character of lines, and here we go into like the different types of pens and what types of density that you can get with them. And again, he has lots of things like, okay, this is how I do it, these are common mistakes, and this is how you can practice. And he does that all over with lots of tips in between the lines, cross hatching, things to do and things to not do. Again, with preference, common mistakes, and practice exercises. And nice, really nice examples of what he can do with that. Here you have like organic hatching, which he calls contour hatching, which well, not exaggerate, but amplify a shape. Like it goes with the shapes and thus gives a lot more information about a subject, and you can create depth with it by creating lines that follow the shape. Stippling, something I did when I was a teenager, and I took months for sketches, for illustrations to complete. So, but stippling is a very effective technique for getting shades, different kind of values. Again, how certain stippling looks with a pen, with a fine liner, with a fountain pen, with a ballpoint pen. So lots of different kinds of hatching that he discusses. The line weights, which are obviously also very important, and what you can do with them. And yeah, again, he uses the same simple basic forms to show you exactly how they behave and how a form under certain circumstances comes out with a certain technique. woven hatching, which are like these patterned kind of hatchings, which is also like a very interesting way to to approach a sketch. You can see here it has a very decorative look. It doesn't follow the shapes, but it has a certain decorative look to it, which can be very nice. Scribbling, just slowly building up value by scribbling around. Very elaborate and very extensive techniques to experiment with. And of course, values are the result of lighting, and that's actually what makes depth. And he explains it very simply, so that it's easy to understand, and from that you can start to build your sketches with simple exercises, creating textures, and in cases adding color, and not all over the place, but just in limited ways, or in limited areas, like with this plant, which can make it very, very strong. Okay, so then some simple exercises, a simple exercises chapter, measuring for proportions, something that I don't do, and you can see that in my sketches. But if you want certain kind of proportions to be right, these are some techniques that help you do that. He also shows like they've been doing that for ages, so it's not like cheating. It's a tool to help you get the proportions right. Composition, some basic ideas about composition, and he slowly, from simple like perspectives, because you have lots of perspective types, the basic ones, central, 2-point, 3-point perspective, but you can go on and on and on, but only the main ones are important to get your sketches into depth. And then it starts to go into the world around you. And finally, there's a chapter on getting into action. He has timed exercises, like spending a couple of minutes, 30 minutes to 2 hours on a sketch, and a nice scheduled approach for doing it. So there's lots of really rich exercises that can help you if you don't know, okay, what should I draw? How long should I draw it? This is really helpful in getting you started and getting you on track and keeping you on track. Here's my friend David, and some more exercises. And all in all, I really love this book. It's very worthwhile, especially if you want to concentrate on pen and ink sketching, or any kind of tool that that makes black lines. And it's a great book to have. So that's about it. What I wanted to show you and tell you about. Great book. I'll put a link in the comments or in the description of this. I'll make this in I'll put a little screenshot here. Well, I'll leave the camera rolling for a little bit so you can see. It's searchpress.com, and you can look for David's book. It's called Pen and Ink Drawing Techniques, Steps, Subjects, and Prompts. David Morales, McDava22 on Instagram. I believe it's 22, and else if I make a mistake, I'll put that in the description as well. So, thanks.